The crowned queen of disco music, a pioneer among dance floor divas, died on May 17, 2012 in Florida, at the age of 63 from lung cancer. Before becoming Donna Summer, she was born LaDonna Adrienne Gaines in Boston in 1948. The star began singing in church and at high school performances. At the age of 19, Donna was casted for the German tour of the musical Hair, starting a career of success in Europe. While enjoying early success in her singing career, she encountered many problems in her personal life. Donna Summer was born in a Boston suburb on New Year's Eve, 1948, into a devout Christian family. According to the biography website, her father, Andrew Gaines, was a butcher and her mother, Mary Gaines, was a teacher. She was the third of the couple's 7 children. Like many other African-American stars, her first public performance came out as a child in the church. She has always been an enthusiastic singer since she learned to speak. As her mother once recalled, she literally loved to sing. She sang for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. During high school, Donna starred in her school's musicals and was extremely popular. She also had a bad behavior as a teenager, sneaking out to parties and breaking the strict curfew imposed by her parents. On one of these occasions, she auditioned for lead vocalist of the blues rock band Crown. To play in clubs and watch practices, Donna skipped school. 3 weeks before graduating from high school, she moved with her band to New York to continue her career and to get away from her parents. At age 19, Donna auditioned and was casted to the musical Hair, scheduled to play in Munich, Germany. After accepting the role, she flew to Europe with her parents' grudging approval. The diva learned to speak German fluently in a brief time, and after the musical ended, she decided to remain in Munich, where she appeared in several other musicals and worked in a recording studio singing backing vocals and recording demo tapes. In 1972, she married the Austrian actor Helmut Sommer, with whom she had her first daughter, who was named Minnie. After separating in 1976, she kept his last name until the end, although she adapted it to English, Summer. 1973 was a turning point in her career, as Donna met the producers and songwriters Speedy Bellotti and Giorgio Moroder, the latter considered the father of disco and the pioneer of electronic music. They quickly became a prolific and successful team. The artist signed a contract with an European label and released the album Lady of the Night, a huge success in the old continent thanks to the song The Hostage. In 1975, Donna presented her producers with the idea of a song that turned out to be her first big hit, Love to Love You Baby. The inspiration to Donna's music and sensuality came from songs like Pillow Talk by Sylvia and Je t'aime moi non plus by Jane Birkin and Serge Gainsbourg. After reaching number 5 in the UK charts, the American label Casablanca requested an entire album and a 17-minute version of the song to play in clubs. In November 1975, Donna returned to the US to promote the record. The moment she stepped off the plane, she was greeted like a big celebrity. Limousines, press, and parties. She was expected to maintain the appearance of a sensual goddess, which she herself created, something that was not really her. The artist feared gaining a reputation for selling sex and not for being a talented singer. Despite rejection from many radio stations to play the song because of its suggestive groans, in 1976 it reached number 2 on the Billboard charts in the United States. Building on the success of Love to Love You Baby, Donna released 4 albums between 1976 and 1977, one of which was I Remember Yesterday, which included the track I Feel Love, that had no instrumental arrangements and consisted exclusively of an almost moaning voice over a repetitive bass of synthesizers, something very innovative, commercial, and sexy for the time. David Bowie also made a commentary about the song. One day in Berlin, Brian Eno came running in and said, "I heard the sound of future." He puts on I Feel Love by Donna Summer. He said, "That's it. Look no further. This single will change the sound of nightclub music for the next 15 years," which was more or less right. Donna also made her film acting debut in 1978 in the movie Thank God It's Friday. Let's Dance, the hit song from soundtrack of this movie, won Donna Summer the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Her seventh album, released in the same year, titled Living More, became her first to reach #1 on the Billboard album charts and featured the single MacArthur Park, a cover of a Jimmy Webb song. In 1979, she reached the highest commercial peak of her career with the Bad Girls album. Two songs from this album reached #1, the title tracks Bad Girl and Hot Stuff, followed by Dim All the Lights, which reached #2, turned Donna Summer the first female artist to score 3 songs in the top 3 of the Billboard Hot 100 in a single year. The album is now the biggest seller of her career, twice platinum, with 2 million units sold in the US and 4 million worldwide. In the 1980s, the singer went into a profound change, and not just musically. While Donna continued to release successful hits, behind the scenes she developed an addiction to alcohol and drugs and suffered from depression, in part due to tensions with her record company. They wanted her to continue doing disco while she pursued a fresh style herself, so she broke the contract with the label. In 1982, she released her first album without the producers Speedy Bellotti and Giorgio Moroder, generically titled Donna Summer and produced by Quincy Jones. It was a failure, reaching only the 20th position on the Billboard. Eventually, she would have some relative successes, such as She Works Hard for the Money, a song that reached 3rd place and earned her a Grammy nomination, and This Time I Know It's For You, but none of them was equal to her previous success. The 1990s weren't much different for Donna Summer. She released 2 studio albums, Mistaken Identity and Christmas Songs, neither of which made much of an impact. Her last album would not be released until 14 years later. The album Crayons from 2008 got positive reviews and decent sales.
It's like depending on that cold of mine. Again and again, you put me in such an awful spin in a spin.
We can say that Donna Summer was an expert on failed relationships. Since the beginning of her career in Europe, she had bad partners. In her 2003 memoir, Ordinary Girl: The Journey, Donna revealed that during the musical Hair, she dated an entertainer named Ronnie. Although he helped her get used to the life in Germany, she found him a bit overbearing and the romance only lasted 2 weeks. During the musical's tour in Vienna, she met a man that she referred to only as Dr. Mayer. He was a psychiatrist who believed in the healing power of music, and she found herself completely in love with him. The artist mentioned in her memoirs that he wanted to get married, but she thought that the city would be a limitation for her, who was looking for great international recognition. And then the romance ended. Donna started dating high society men, but she never found someone to commit to either. She had a tough time reconciling the life she thought a God-fearing girl should have with the one she was living. In 1972, Donna married the Austrian Helmut Sommer, whom she met when she was still participating in the musical Hair, and from whom she inherited her last name. Before long, she found out she was pregnant. In her memoir, she described the morning when she was rushed to the hospital by her husband. A doctor said she was in danger of losing the baby. The couple decided to move into Helmut's parents' apartment, where Donna remained on strict bed rest until the end of her pregnancy. In the same year, she gave birth to her first daughter, Mimi. Shortly after, the singer got into a deep depression, feeling unprepared for motherhood. At that time, through a friend, she met Gunther, a painter she described as a wild man, and ended up attracted to him. Both dated when Donna was still married, although she and her husband were temporarily separated. This fact was one of the causes that led them to a final divorce in 1976. Continuing their relationship with Gunther, the singer soon discovered that he was violent and alcoholic. When she tried to leave him, she was beaten and threatened with a gun. Gunther was charged with assault and was deported. Donna later said that God came to her rescue once again. In 1977, she met musician Bruce Sudano while living in Los Angeles. They were attracted to each other, but he was already in a relationship. Donna took time to heal from her previous relationship with Gunther and waited for Bruce to break up with his girlfriend. In 1978, she appeared on the singer's doorstep to confess her love. The two were married on July 16, 1980, had 2 daughters, Brooklyn and Amanda, and were together until the death of Donna Summer. Donna Summer has not only experienced the good parts of fame, but also the dark part, which is ignored by many. After all success, glamour is what the public likes to see. In an interview with the Washington Post, Donna said that her success came with intense physical and psychological pressure. According to the singer, after 8 years living in Germany and speaking a foreign language, and living with people she didn't know, she felt a cultural shock upon returning to the United States. Suddenly, I should be black or white. In Germany, I didn't have that sense of color, it was just me. So when I came back, I really had this feeling of being lost, not knowing who I was supposed to be. Donna also spent most of her time after the erotic excess of Love to Love You Baby, proving that she was so much more than a sexy woman. Her anxiety and depression made her addicted to prescription drugs for years. In 1976, while living at the Navarro Hotel in New York, the diva thought about how the world was crashing down on her. Between the men in her life at the time and her professional obligations, she felt she had no power of her own life. The singer walked up to the hotel window and was ready to go crazy until she ended up getting trapped in the curtains just as a house cleaner arrived. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight in 2008, Donna said that she thanked God that lady showed up. Within 24 hours, she saw a therapist who helped her understand that the culture shock of moving from one continent to another was enough stress for anyone. She felt then that she needed a true relationship with God, and soon after she became Christian again. The gay club scene was coming of age just as Donna Summer was growing in popularity. Her erotic and dancing music had become iconic in the community. When her career declined in the early 1980s, as did disco music, her gay fans remained her most loyal. Around the same time that she became a born-again Christian and a staunch devotee, her name was involved in a huge controversy that hit her hard. According to a review in the Village Voice, in the backstage of a concert in 1983, she told a small group of gay fans that God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. "I'm going to pray for you tonight," she said, adding, "I've seen the evil of homosexuality come out of you. AIDS is your sin. Now, don't get me wrong, God loves you, but not the way you are now." Donna has always denied saying those words and blamed it on the newspaper writer Jim Feldman, who was responsible for reviewing the show, claiming he wrote it because he was angry that she had accepted God. The singer also lamented the loss of friends to AIDS, saying many people she worked with in the music history were gay, and she would never make such comments. Myth or reality, the truth is that Donna never fully recovered, commercially and musically. Her connection to the gay community has since been tarnished, with some choosing to forgive her and others not. During the 1990s, the diva focused on her family. She still toured in the country, but not as often as in the 1970s and 1980s. She closed out the decade with I Will Go With You, a disco version of Andrea Bocelli's Conte Partito, which, according to Billboard, reached 3rd place on the dance charts. In 2008, with her last album entitled Crayons, Donna organized a tour that took her to several countries. It was a shadow of what it used to be. Her career could have gone through many ups and downs, but her imposing and prodigious voice remained intact until the end. Donna Summer passed away in her house in Florida on May 17, 2012, at the age of 63. She had been diagnosed with lung cancer, which she blamed on inhaling toxic particles after the 9/11 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in New York. She lived just a few blocks from the Twin Towers. The Tampa Bay Times reports that afterward, she became depressed and paranoid. Donna stated that she never left the house and kept the blinds closed. She believed she had inhaled smoke and ash from the accidents, and claimed to have been a victim of 9/11, stating that the attacks were against Christianity, and as a Christian, she felt it was personal. Forensic Dr. Michael Hunter of the documentary series Autopsy of Celebrities stated that while it is likely that she was exposed to the debris after the terrorist attack, it is not likely that she developed cancer from it. Many believe it was from smoking as a young girl and singing in smoke-filled clubs. Furthermore, lung cancer ran in her family, killing her mother and younger sister. According to sources close to the singer, she was trying to keep her condition a secret, so she lived in seclusion for the previous year. Chemotherapy has caused her to lose a lot of weight, and if anyone were to see her, it would be obvious to assume that she was sick. It is worth mentioning that Donna was also working on a new album. After her death, some of the biggest names in the entertaining world paid tribute to her. Producer Quincy Jones said that her voice was the heartbeat and soundtrack of a decade, while Dolly Parton commented, "Donna was one of the greatest voices of all time." Aretha Franklin referred to her as a great artist and a really nice person, and the actress Lisa Minnelli named her, as many have, the Queen of Disco Music. After her death, Donna Summer was included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Although she was considered only a disco legend, the diva mastered many musical styles and had 32 Billboard Top 100 hits, 14 of them in the top 10 and 4 of them at number 1, becoming an inspiration to artists such as Madonna and Beyoncé. Donna Summer feared that her talents would not be fully recognized until after her death, that people would consider her a mere relic of the disco era. But I'm sure you and I will always remember Donna Summer as the Queen of Disco Music. For more content like this, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. There's a new video every week. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.